How you doing, everyone? I'd like to welcome you back to the Extreme Log Splitter build slash makeover. I'm not sure. We're not actually building a log splitter, but we are going to beef it up a little bit. So in the last episode, we got the motor mount all mocked up and set down in there, welded into place, and I put the motor down there and getting ready to mark the holes where I want the bolts to bolt the motor down to the mount. And I seen that big crack in that block, man. That about turned my stomach. I was very upset. I know I had a little bit of money in that motor, about $200, but you know, all the parts on that one will fit on this one. So we went and picked up another one. So now we have a lot of spare parts for a 420 Predator engine. So being that I already have that motor on there and it's setting, it's the exact same motor as this one, I'm going to go ahead and mark them holes. We're going to get them drilled in there in that 3/8 1/4-inch steel plate. That's a huge plate for this motor. I wasn't sure whether I needed any kind of motor mount, like rubber motor mounts, but I'm telling you, I really don't have room. As close as that pump is to that bottom of that rail, I don't think I'd have room enough in there to even put motor mounts if I wanted to put motor mounts in there. So we're going to go with the flow and see what happens at the end. So we're going to go ahead and get our holes marked out for our motor and see if we can get this motor out of the box and mount it up. I think what I'm going to do is try to make some kind of template. I got it marked about where I want it there, right on the edge, backwards, and this side. Might try to make some kind of template of the bottom of it to make sure we get those bolt holes just perfect. I guess we're going to go ahead and open up this motor and use this to make our template with, because it doesn't have any motor oil in it or gas. And that motor there has gas and motor oil in it. So we're going to see if we can get this guy out of the box. Okay, we built just a little cardboard template for the bottom of this motor, and then we're going to mark it on them mounts and get them holes drilled. This will be a lot easier. So now we know exactly where we need our holes drilled in the bottom of that plate. Okay, what we've done is we drilled all the holes a little bit smaller. Now we're going with a 5/16 drill bit, and that's what we want our bolts to be, 5/16. Now what we're going to do, since we got them drilled, we're going to go ahead and put all the bolts in the holes, make sure they fit, and then we're going to pull everything back off. Okay, all of our bolts line up just perfect on there. So now we can take the motor back off, and we're going to get to cleaning this thing up, getting some paint on it, and then we can start getting it put back together. Okay, we decided to switch up the paint instead of using the brush, because I'm no good with a brush. Well, heck, I ain't no good with a paint can either. But we're going to turn some of this orange and some of it black. A little bit of lipstick. Hopefully it'll look pretty good. Took all the decals off of it. I don't really care about the decals. It doesn't matter anyhow. If we have to do anything, we don't have to look anything up. We just order the parts. It's just a log splitter. So we're going to be trying this It's a Rust-Oleum farm implement paint. This is a Alice Chalmers orange. I think that'll give us enough orange to make it look pretty good. Just kind of trying to match the Kubota just a little bit. It's not a big deal. Just not a fan of that red. So what we're doing now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to mount the pump up to the new motor here. Okay, my pump mount bolts, I went ahead and stuck them in. I put some anti-seize on them. Now it's probably better to put the blue Loctite on them so you can get them off again. But I'm a little worried about them getting seized up in there. So I will have to keep an eye on these bolts. And I'm going to torque them down to about 16 foot-pounds. We're not going to go any more than that. I think that'll be fine. Okay, that's 16 foot-pounds on those bolts there. Now, with the 5/16 24 bolts that we put in here, we made sure they had lock washers on them. They got good lock washers on them, so it should be fine. I think we're ready to go ahead and bolt the motor down to the log splitter. And then we're gonna have to go get some hydraulic lines made and a return line over here made. A few things we gotta go get made, so. All right, there's one more thing I want to show you guys before we put this motor on. When you put your Lovejoy on, between this mark right here, you want to keep a 1/16 of an inch. That rubber, your rubber and your steel, you want to keep a 1/16 of an inch away from each other. So you got a tiny little gap between these guys here. And if you look on your rubber, there's some little bumps on your rubber, and that's about the distance you need to keep away from that metal to the rubber. I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of room in the back of that motor to get them bolts in there. It's a little bit tight, and I left this thing set out pretty good. Okay, nobody said anything to me. I painted the whole log splitter, but I didn't make the battery box. So now I got to weld on my new paint job. But we got to get this battery box built because we have to have a place to put the battery. So I just cut up some angle iron here. I'm going to make our new battery box. Okay, we welded a couple nuts on here. So we're using a 5/16 18 threads per inch tap here. And we're going to just clean out these threads because we've probably got a little bit of weld in them. And this guy here will knock them right out. Now our bolts will fit right down in here, and we'll have a nice battery box here to clamp our battery down in. Let's get it welded to the log splitter. So we got our new hoses. We're going to go ahead and start hosing this guy up. Now I don't believe you have to put any Teflon on these. These are tapered ends. So I don't think you have to mess with the Teflon. You just want to make sure they're snugged up good and tight. And then we'll come back and check them. See if we have any leaks. Okay, we have a new hydraulic filter. This is a filter we're going to be mounting on our log splitter. What you want to do is take a little bit of your hydraulic oil and put it on that rubber seal and go ahead and screw it on. So you don't have to go real tight on this, just snug it up. We'll check for leaks. Okay, we have all of our hoses on and tightened down. We're going to go ahead and fill it up with a full hydraulic fluid. Now, it wants you to maintain about 1.5 to 2 inches from the top. Now, if for some reason you overfill this, the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to come out the overflow, and your bolt here has an overflow hole in it. It'll go through here and come out there. It's not going to hurt anything. You may want to stick something under it if you get it too full, because it will come out of there if you get too much. So we're going to try to do our best to get it 1.5 inches from the top or whatever.
Well, this ringer is not very loud. How's it come?
I don't know.
Oops. Hello? Hey.
All right, we're going to be adding the oil to our motor. I'm going to use SAE 10W30 oil in here, and I just got a gallon because we're going to have to switch this after a couple hours of splitting some wood. We're going to have to take that break-in oil out, and we're going to have to put fresh oil in it again. So just get a gallon, and because you're going to pay more for 4 quarts than you are a gallon. So we're going to go ahead and start putting it in. Now, the Predator engine, where the oil is, it's pretty tight back in here. It's a little bit tight. So we got us a funnel here, and I got a little clean container. I'm going to pour it into this, and then pour it into the motor, which is a little tight. It's easier trying to pour in a small amount at a time than it is to try to get a bunch in there at once. Just take your time. And make sure your container and your funnel is clean. You don't want to put any dirt in that new motor. Okay, by looking at it, it's pretty full. It's about ready to come out the spout. So we're going to stop there. We got oil in there. Okay, all of our fluids are filled up, and we're going to throw some gas in here. I got the battery terminals all hooked up. We're going to see what happens here in a minute and see if this motor will start. Okay, we're going to give this thing a try and see if it'll start up. We got all the fluids, went over everything twice, made sure we checked everything. So we're going to give it a try. Okay, the motor is running great. Started up by the key. I love that. No oil leaks on the motor that I can see of right now. The hydraulics did work. I see no hydraulic leaks underneath the machine. It looks like we got everything pretty good and tight. We do have a 2-hour, we're going to run this thing about 2 hours, and then we're going to change the break-in oil out of there and put fresh oil in there, and then we'll go over the whole entire log splitter, tightening up bolts. Now I didn't forget that we still got the two 5.5 inch 5/16 by 24 bolts that we need to get for that back pump housing. We will get them in there. We also got to build a bracket for the top of this battery to make sure this battery stays in place. So the next time you guys come, we're going to have this thing up and we're going to be splitting some big old rounds with it, and we'll see how it really works with this 420 Predator engine. So I would like to tell everyone, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.